Hi, MI and Milgar team members. I am Sylvia Martinez, Milgar Operating System Manager. As you all know, in order to provide a safer work environment for our team members, we have implemented changes that allow for social distancing. The presentation that I'm about to discuss summarizes the policies and standards around social and physical distancing. Additional details might be found in the COVID-19 Command Center website. This policy was developed with the purpose of compiling all the best practices and create a set of guidelines for individuals' behavior related to social physical distancing while in the MI or Milgar facilities. As mentioned, this presentation summarizes the acceptable visual method, tools, and materials needed to implement social and physical distancing. This policy defines the responsibilities and sequence of events necessary to successfully provide a safe place to work within the MI or legal facilities. These standards apply to all MI and legal locations, including all team members, temp agency workers, visitors, and contractors. Some of the responsibilities are for Milgar MI corporate directors to ensure compliance to these standards, for MI Milgar corporate location CI and EHS teams to communicate any update required, for MI Milgar corporate continuous improvement to maintain and update the standards, ensuring a clear understanding of it. For MI Milgar locations leadership team, ensure compliance to this standard, oversee the auditing of daily operations, and definitely address any non-compliance and implement short or long-term actions to correct them. This policy in this presentation includes manufacturing operations, warehouse, common areas, conference room, and general offices. This presentation does not cover service and delivery processes or any cleaning procedure or material since they are covered in other policies. We have three major commonly decals or visual markings used to show social physical distancing. Yellow and black tape, mostly used in manufacturing, to help to denote a safe workspace area. A 12 inches round 6-foot distance decal, mostly used for doors opening, outside restroom, near one water fountain, in front of time clocks and vending machines, and in front of thermal imaging spot. A 4 inches round 6-foot distance decal, mostly used for conference and break room tables, or floor, near the MOS or SQDIP boards, for the queuing lines, to access the vending machines, to access any time clock, or to get to temperature checkpoints, or for any other general use to demonstrate the separation. Let's start explaining about the policy and standard for common areas. Common areas are areas within each MI Milgar facility that accommodate groups of people gathering for both short and extended period of time. Individuals are always required to wear a face covering while on company property, unless the individual is eating or smoking in designated areas. For each break room area, the first step is to identify the maximum capacity to maintain 6-foot distance. To help maintain compliance, the location can use a 6-foot distance decal that could be 4 inches in size to show where each team member are allowed to sit to maintain the required distance. You may remove any excess chairs or tables from the room to prevent the possibility of non-compliance. Once you have identified the maximum capacity, use the notice sign to post the room capacities on room entrance door. Mark queuing lines with 6-foot distance decals at those service areas such as cafeterias, marketplace, microwaves, and vending machines. For outdoor break areas, chairs, and tables, standardized markings should be utilized to maintain 6-foot distance. Team member must stand in line using the floor markings as a guideline, either to get to the time clock or to wait for the temperature check. The locations may use other similar marking methods for outdoor queuing line. If your site has mobile punching capability, such as the Paylocity, encourage team members to utilize that process in order to mitigate congregation at the time clock areas. If available, and whenever possible, use a stylus pen for that. Face covering must be worn in restrooms to keep individuals safe from possible spread of the COVID-19 virus. Restrooms should have visual queuing outside the restroom to safely stage users waiting for available capacity. You can use the decals of 12 inches of size to show where the person must wait for availability of the next restroom, and use the 4 inches decal size for the queuing line. Following the use of the restroom facilities, users are required to wash their hands thoroughly according to CDC guidelines. CDC hand washing guidelines should be posted in each restroom. To obtain a poster such as the one shown in this presentation, you may access the COVID-19 Command Center or the CDC website. As you can observe here in the picture, individuals using walkways are required to maintain 6 feet distance. While the CDC COVID-19 precautions are in place, smoking areas, where allowed in locations, must be set up to visually maintain a distance of space between individuals. If a 6-foot decal cannot be placed due to the material floor, use paint or any other appropriate material. Face covering must be worn within a smoking area unless the individual is smoking. When possible, leave doors that are non-fire or non-security doors open. Locations can place a door stop to hold the door, or look for hands-free opening devices to reduce the number of door handle touches. Please, it is important to consult the local EH&S and HR departments to verify which door can remain open. In the event a facility should have to evacuate the building for either a practice drill or an actual emergency, follow the normal procedure. Individuals need to make sure to wear their required face covering. During an emergency that requires evacuation, individuals should maintain 6 feet of social distance when applicable. During a tornado or inclement weather that requires emergency sheltering, 6 feet physical distance might not be feasible. For this reason, locations with tornado shelters need to make sure that each shelter designated area has the appropriate PPE available for individuals who, for any particular reason, arrive at the sheltering location without their PPE. Parking lots are considered a common area. It is recommended to wear face coverings while in parking lots until an individual is inside their vehicle or of the company property, whichever comes first. Now, let's review the policy and standard for office and conference room. As stated before, this policy applies to conference room and office areas within the facility that accommodate groups of people for any length of meeting time. All individuals are required to wear face covering while on company property, unless the individual is sitting or the person is alone on his or her office. The location is to assess what is the maximum capacity for each conference room. When it is established, it needs to be posted using the notice sign shown in a previous slide. Items such as tables, chairs, and conference room equipment shall be cleaned before and after every meeting. A cleaning log sheet needs to be filled out by the meeting organizer or a designee. Tables or floors shall be marked to indicate where each individual should sit. While in the offices, if the team members are separated by at least 6 feet, then they may remove the face covering for phone calls. If someone approaches a person while he or she is sitting, both individuals need to have their face covering on. For areas where desks are next to each other or less than 6 feet apart, place a barrier to maintain a safe physical distance. Now, let's review the policy and standard for manufacturing and warehouse areas. As with the same previous areas explained, team members are always required to wear face coverings while on company property, unless otherwise covered by a different policy. Where there is a need to define the team members' boundaries, establish and mark the physical location of work using black and yellow duct tape. Make distance invisible to help team members maintain compliance. If impractical to maintain 6 feet social distancing and where possible, the location needs to install a physical barrier. Team members must always wear face covering when loading items into a truck or performing any type of two-person lifting. Where needed, a face shield might be required. However, it is important to note that wearing a face covering or face shield are not a substitute of social distance guidelines. If possible and where applicable, locations may conduct a virtual daily management work meeting to discuss the MOS or SQDIP metrics. If meeting takes place in the production floor, then indicate with the appropriate 6 feet distance equal where each team member should stand. In order to identify gaps to this standard and implement actions, each location will conduct a daily audit during each shift, especially in the manufacturing and warehouse area. This presentation was prepared following MI Berger social physical distance policies and standard documentation, the CDC guidelines, the corporate guidelines related to face covering, and other additional information that can be found in the COVID-19 Command Center located in the MI SharePoint. If you have any questions about the material, please contact either corporate TR, corporate EHS, corporate HR, or any of your local leadership team. Thank you.